Welcome, everyone. We are live on Facebook, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, Telegram, and YouTube. We have a special show for you today. We're going to be giving some updates on the Angela Friener story, as well as we have Jessica Durham and Candace Edwards here with us. And we're going to be talking about a couple of different issues that are going on in the CPS and family court corruption issue, as well as advocacy. So, with that being said, Angie, you want to start off and uh, basically break down for our viewers what you were talking about yesterday about when your kid turns 18, you basically lose a lot of legal authority in contacting them and whatnot.
Yeah, so
Angie,
what yeah, so what I found out,
oh, turn your
um
camera on too.
okay, hold on. So what I found out, because I took the road like I was just gonna wait until she turned 18, right? So what I found out was when she turned 18, she didn't contact me and they still wouldn't give me contact information to contact her, right? Well, now I have no legal standing in the court at all to do anything because she's an adult. She has her own autonomy. They'll just say that she's making this choice not to speak with me, even though we know what happened. She went through all that, and the courts, they just leave you with nothing. I don't know how many people has experienced that, but this is what I've.
I'm experiencing that right now. My oldest daughter, Angie, just turned 18 January 18th, 2026. So I'm pretty much going through when it comes to that situation, like we're neck and neck on that.
Have you spoke to her?
No, me and Jess was doing some background checks to see if we can find her while we've been looking for your daughter. Um, my adopted sister, now keep in mind, like as you know, I was in foster care myself.
Right.
So it was my adopted sister that ended up getting my oldest daughter. Granted, it was due to domestic violence that I was dealing with through my marriage, if you will. Um, and I chose to place her with my sister that way she could stay out of foster care. Um, but even with that happening, like she doesn't allow me to see my own child.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah,
So
they don't even give me my daughter's telephone number. Like I have no way of like contacting her, like because I don't have her number. I have no way. Like
have
if
you
once I go
tried
out there,
looking have you
Same
tried
with my
looking into
son.
social media?
I can't find her on social media. They have me blocked or she has like no present. I don't know. I think
Yes,
they.
exactly with my son, exact same thing.
Because, like, with my own family, as you know, like I said, I was in the foster care system. I was adopted out of the foster care system. It took me from 2017 is when I found my biological family. It took me to 2023 when I finally moved up here to New York to even be around my family. So,
Mm.
Now was that like personal choice?
what do you mean?
Like was it a choice to wait that long before you got to see your family or spend time with them or get to know them, or was it just the situation like you couldn't
It was
find them?
It was a situation. I had actually found my biological mother back in 2012 on Facebook, but she didn't realize I had, like, you know how Facebook has this separate little inbox or whatever? She didn't realize that I had wrote her. So what I ended up going back doing is I found all my siblings' names and said, "Hey, look, this is my sibling's name. I don't know the last name, but I'm looking for my biological mother. My name is this, and I was adopted." And so I ended up finding my middle sister, Catherine. And so that's how we kind of reconnected. I found her and I went through her to find my mother and my aunt and my grandmother. And as it stands right now, I'm living with my grandmother. My grandmother is 80 years old. So, she kind of needs the help.
Right.
So,
What I found is that so what happens when they turn 18, they have their own autonomy, right? And they don't realize this, that they can make these choices because of the way that they've been living. When someone is a narcissist and they're just totally
Yep.
gaslighting you and telling you a story and telling you know and you know rewiring your brain basically. um
yeah.
they tend not to know that they have this choice. that they have their own
Right, right.
that they, that they can make these choices for themselves. So I really do think it's something that, like we should look at and try to figure out something, because there's nothing I can do. What do I do? There's nobody to turn to. There's nobody to call to be like, yeah, she was taken through the courts when she was 14. She's, going to be 20 soon, and I still haven't heard from her. But,
At this
nobody
point
to
in
make her
time,
call me.
Well, what
at
needs
this
to
point
be
in time,
done? Oh, go ahead.
hold on. At this point in time, there's not really anything you can do. What you can do, though, is you can go back and you can sue the courts. You can pull their oaths and their bonds. I've already pulled 11 judges, and I pulled the judge, the clerk, the magistrate, and the sheriff in my county. Now, the sheriff in my county, they do a blanket bond, right? I think it's through Travel Safe or something like that. I've got it on my computer. I need to print it out. I got to get a new printer because I bought a brand new printer, and for some reason I don't want to fucking work. Excuse the language. But anyways, I have the copy of the bond, and you've got to go through risk management. So that
Wow.
might be an area you might want to look at, or you can look into doing tort. I know you've been working on doing your the civil, but
Well,
why don't you look at a tort
I
claim?
do have
Yeah.
the tort. There's torts in this lawsuit. I actually have a case number already.
Yay! Oh, sorry.
So you did get a case number out of that?
Yeah, I got a case number. Yeah. So we'll see.
When did that happen?
I filed IFP, so we'll see. So, the judge will have to review it and then okay the paper, say, or he'll say I didn't state a claim, whatever they're gonna do.
Oh.
From there, I'll be able to serve people if he lets me go forward.
Right, right.
So, I mean, and that can take 4 or 6 weeks. I mean, it could take a while before he ever approves the IFP, or it can go pretty fast, because the last couple of times it went really fast. They
Right.
approved my
Well,
IFP.
what needs to be done is full transparency, I think, because if they couldn't keep kids from their parents without due process, then we wouldn't even be talking about it. She wouldn't have lost that relationship with Delilah, to where she has to worry that why is my daughter not contacting me now? Because they were fucking super close. Delilah was fighting to be with her till the end. Even in the mental hospital, Delilah was begging them, and she was telling them, I'm not going with him. They had to up her dose to two of those fucking pills they were giving her to calm her down before they took her to get her to go with her uncle even.
And not only did they violate her, Delilah's due process, they violated Angie's due process.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
another thing.
yeah.
Like, that's another thing.
They
So
arrested her so they could take Delilah. That's extremely fucking illegal.
the Trinity Teen Solutions, the Wilderness Ranch in Wyoming that she was sent to, that case settled. They settled for like 2.27 mil or 2.7 mil, something like that. It wasn't very much for how many girls that were involved in it. And Delilah fell in that class. And that's another thing with her turning 18, because they found them to be laboring kids and trafficking kids. Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now that she's 18, I can't bring that suit for her. Like, she doesn't
Right.
even know that she has a really solid trafficking case, and she probably don't even know it. I mean,
Most of them
I know
don't. Most
if
of them don't.
she filed a trafficking case, she would win.
Yeah, you're right. They don't know their rights or anything. They need to be taught about the real
That's like
monsters
me.
under the bed.
Traffic. That's what I'm saying. Just because it was her dad that did this doesn't make it something that it's not.
Right.
Right.
It's still what it is. It still was trafficking. He still, through the courts, through legal abuse, forced her back to his house through a mental hospital, through a wilderness program. I mean, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in 5 years. What do you call that?
Yeah.
Forced disappearance, basically.
Exactly.
Sarissa even got on there and like,
Doesn't matter. Like, most trafficked kids are being trafficked by a family member.
By
And
a
that's
family
the reality
member.
of it.
true.
You got family members, you got CPS, you've got church organizations like the Salvation Army. I've dealt with several families that are dealing with a Salvation Army trafficking their children.
You have
Mhm.
children that go home, go to school, go home, eat, and then act like they're going to bed and then go out their window and because they're being trafficked and they have a handler handling them. But yet they play that role at home every day.
Mhm.
Try that one. That's happening. That's happening to a lot of kids because they get on these apps, they get in their head, they gaslight them, they manipulate them. It's all manipulation. It's all mind fuckery.
Mhm.
Right.
And, that's like what I was telling them when we were going through all that. I'm like, you guys are not going to gaslight me. Like, I see what's going on here. That's why they didn't like me because one, I seen it, and two, I called it out when I was seeing it. I didn't just
Dude, oh my
fight it
God,
out,
did you ever?
like
Did you
if
ever?
it was happening and I seen it, I was like, hey,
They tried to give you some bullshit criminal charges fucking because of it.
yeah,
What?
7 years. They tried to give me
This
Yeah,
7
you
years.
shit's not
already
even
won.
supposed to be on your record, man. It's on there.
Well, but the thing is, here's what I found out digging in and writing this lawsuit is that they lied on the indictment. They changed what my email said so that it was threatening. Because what I said wasn't threatening.
Yeah.
What I said was a mom begging the government for redress because her daughter was being moved out of the state without a hearing, I wasn't being heard. There was no emergency. They took the judges, like there was no judge for like what 6 months. They wouldn't give me a judge. They blacked me out of the courthouse. They just totally blacked me out. Wouldn't let me get any emergency redress. They wouldn't let me get any relief anywhere. They blocked it all off from me. And then lied on the paperwork and said that I said that there would be consequences for her conduct if she didn't change her ruling. I never said that. That's
Mm-mm.
threatening. That falls under the statute of tampering with a judge. And they couldn't
Mhm.
do with that. But what I said was, you don't have the right to traffic my daughter across the country. There will be consequences for your conduct. Because I was
Right.
my daughter being trafficked, but they left all that out on purpose. And
Of course they are. Of course
Just-
they are. Like I know they are.
And then Anonymous sent her a message telling her, we got you, we're going to dox you, whatever. And what she did, she put my email with their text messages together and forwarded them to the police as if they were both all from me. Didn't tell them, one, that she recused and she wasn't the judge, so I couldn't tamper with her anyway because she wasn't the judge of my case anymore. She didn't put that in the paperwork. She didn't put it the fact that those were two different people, two different messages from two different things. I was an email with my name. I was identified. This other one was from a Canadian number, anonymous. And they're gonna wrap me
Okay.
that and say that I was the one, and try to make it look like I was the one threatening her. And then so when they got me with my gun, when they arrested me with my gun, they thought, oh yeah, we're going to use this. But they didn't say it right away. They didn't bring it up until they were letting me out of jail, and they didn't want me out of jail because they didn't have Delilah in Wyoming yet. They were trying to keep.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something that I have found out working with another parent in West Virginia. She was a grandparent. Her stuff was being hacked, okay? She had a program on her computer that basically, if a hacker comes into their computer, she can grab packets out of their stuff as they're pulling packets out of her stuff.
That's funny.
Okay, so I have hundreds of emails where they were literally telling us how to go about doing this and what we had to do. It's CPS that is literally hacking into parent stuff and changing their stuff, as well as the judges and things.
Right.
So it's not like you're off on that.
My case. I don't really have a CPS story. This was a judge. You know what I mean? This wasn't CPS. This was the judge that did this. It was the judge.
Well, I mean, when you talk about family courts and judge and things like, it kind of all falls up under the same umbrella.
Usually people are dealing with the CPS lady or whatever. There was no CPS.
Yeah.
I wasn't dealing with nobody like that. There wasn't anybody like that. CPS wasn't involved. So we didn't have that middleman. Usually it's the middleman doing everything, right? Because what's the judge there to do? The judge is just there to watch. That's all. The judge ain't there to judge you. That's not his job. That's the jury's job. That's one reason we get totally screwed in family court, because it's the judge's job to judge you. Their job is to sit and watch, referee what's going on in that case, right?
And they're supposed to be impartial, but
Yeah, they're paper
90%
pushing
of them
cookies.
Bias and just watch, dude, because the jury makes the decision in the end. If you go to trial, it's you want a jury trial, you want one of your peers, right? And they make that choice. Not so these judges making these orders and these decisions for people, it's not lawful, it's not right.
Nope.
I don't know
Well,
why
they're
anybody
robbing
wants to
people
go
of
into
their due
family court and
process.
give up their rights to their kids and have people, a handful of people that are trying to make money off them to be able to control them like puppets, dude. That's what happened. That's what happened to me. Like I
Well, you
couldn't
know,
even make choices for my daughter anymore once we ended up in family court, dude. I wasn't, my daughter was in the emergency room and they wouldn't let me make medical decisions for my daughter. And I was the guarantor and the guardian in the paperwork. So I was responsible for paying and I was her guardian. But yet they wouldn't let me make one medical decision for her.
They wouldn't even let you talk to her, and you hadn't done anything wrong.
I had to get a special number, and like they wanted to cut my phone calls off with her because I told her how to get home from the airport or from the hospital. And then I told her if they put her in an airport, don't get on a fucking plane. And if you did, grab the first motherfucker you see and tell them that these motherfuckers are trafficking you. And they didn't like that. So they tried to cut my phone calls with me because they didn't want me to get her to go AWOL or whatever, you know. Because I was putting a damper in their plan of trafficking her out of the state. Because what I also found out is that the hospital was working with 2 insurance companies. His wife had insurance on my daughter I didn't know about. The hospital was working with the insurance, the care nurse, whatever, from the insurance company to actually traffic her because their insurance company is what paid for her plane ticket. Like they paid for her uncle's plane ticket to come get her, and then they paid for the plane tickets to take her back to Arizona. As they're charging my insurance for her hospital stay, and won't let me make a medical decision for her. Won't even let me see her.
Have you considered doing like a HIPAA complaint?
I've done complaints to all the. I've done most everything. You know what I mean? What they do is they put you in a circle to cover for themselves because, like I've always said this. I've said it from the beginning. Everyone's fucking involved, dude. Everyone.
Right.
Everybody. They're all involved in it.
Well, and this is something I've brought up multiple times on multiple occasions with multiple people, is if you look, there is a program that the states actually put in place. It's in the way that I found out of it was basically my case, and it was called the Etowah County Children's Policy Council. Each state has one, and it's tied directly to the legislation. The legislation is the one who appoints this. But keep in mind, you got people throughout the whole entire state that is involved. Probation officers, doctor's offices, 211, Salvation Army, United Way, all of them. Radio stations, TV stations. And that's your child trafficking ring. Your judges are involved. Like in my case particularly, the judge who was over my case, he was the chairman of this organization. And then the social worker that was on my case, she was a secretary. And then the other judge that was a part of my case, he's also a member of this same organization. So I strongly suggest everybody to do their homework. Go look up the Children's Policy Council. They're going to have something similar. It might be the Children's Trust Fund, just somewhere in that. But it all relies that legislation is the one who points it.
It's all there. It's easy to find. I mean, what do you do with it once you got it? When they're all involved, what do you do with it?
That's the problem we're having.
You know what I mean?
We can sit here and point out everybody.
Huh?
There's no enforcement of the actual laws that are being broken by these judges and these court officials. Nobody's enforcing those laws, and they're sure as hell not going to police themselves.
No, we don't have a government. We're not a country, dude. We're a business. We're a corporation, dude. We are Pedo Inc. USA, dude. Come on. We're not a fucking country. Because if we were a country, we would have a king, not a president, for one. And
We're
two,
a
we
corporation,
already
ma'am.
know this is a country. It's got a DUNS number. And that we're
We're a
chattel. We know
corporation.
that. And we follow a
Okay.
president, dude. Only companies have presidents.
Well, that's why I say we're a corporation. It's an LLC.
Oh yeah, we're Pedo Inc., dude. The United States is the biggest pedo fucking company there is, man. That's
Yeah.
no joke. That's real talk. That is like down to earth, like salt to the earth, real talk, dude. Our government
Right.
is a pedophilia sick. They're sick.
That's not just ours.
Exist anymore.
No, it's not just our country. It's all of the countries. I do
It
agree
is
with
all
that.
the countries, but we run that shit. We run that shit. Don't think we
That's
don't.
actually not
If
true.
we are in America and we ain't number one in everything, you don't think we don't run that shit?
You know the first
Yeah.
country that actually started trafficking anybody? The first country that actually did it.
It was white people.
Yes, but what country?
I want to say the Irish. I want
The
to say the
Irish
Irish
were
were the first one of the first ones trafficked.
But who did it?
It was Africans, I believe.
Brits. Wasn't it the Brits?
No, I thought it was.
Yes,
No, I thought it was.
British.
It was
The
British.
Brit.
Okay.
The British are the first ones to do it.
Okay. So whites
Before that,
trafficking
nobody ever. Huh?
whites trafficking whites. But like all those pictures when they tell them about them bringing all the slaves in on the boats. If you look at those photos, those are not people of color. Those are white people.
Okay, so first of all,
This was in our country, dude. Like we're
first
not.
of all, my name's Philip. If you don't know me,
Hi, Philip.
but how you doing?
Hi.
Well,
That whole depiction of slavery is bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
Not but from what I'm telling you is bullshit in the sense that they didn't just go over there and just get all black folks. All black people did not come from Africa.
No, they were here. America was colored people. They were here
Right.
before us. We come in and take. They were here before the Indians, dude. I mean, our
So-
country, like the Moors and people like that. That's what's original from here.
I mean, our country is built on bullshit. Let's just be honest.
I mean, our country, truthfully be said, let's be real about it. Our country is really built off of foreigners. It's the foreign people who come over to take our country over.
No, it's
and
not.
if you
dude. There was
notice,
people here, there was a culture here before we ever got here and tried to smother it to where people don't even know about it.
well, that's the Tartaria. If you want to look at the Tartaria, if you want to look at like the Atlantis and everything like that. Yeah, I agree with you. But also at the same time, our country is literally built off foreigners. That's why we have so many foreigners coming into our country. Think about the Italians. Think about the Chinese, the Mexicans, the blacks, the whites, the Indians.
The Jews.
It's not just one culture or another.
Well, I think that's where they get the phrase "it's a melting pot" from, is because it's built
Yeah,
upon
no,
a
but we
multitude
stole
of
this
cultures.
land. Look, we're on land that's not even ours. Like we don't have no right to claim any of this
That's
shit.
like me walking in your house
Nope.
right now and be like, "Oh, I like your shit. Give it to me."
Yeah, that's what they
Listen,
do.
it's
not even
Exactly.
Your
ours,
bedroom
dude.
is
This
actually a
land doesn't even
bathroom.
belong to
Yep.
us. Like I feel bad because like when I look at it and I study that stuff and I'm like, oh, I'm just this white girl. This is how it makes me feel. I'm just this white girl with no home. I have no land. Like because they came over and did this and took this land that's gonna go back to these people. They will get their land back, dude. Like that's not gonna
Eventually.
go forever, right? I really believe that they'll get their land back. And then where do people like me go? We have nothing. I don't know anything.
Look, that's what ICE is in here for. Because they're fixing to start deporting people that look like me and you to these other fucking countries. Let's
I
be
don't know
real.
what happened. But what I'm saying is,
I don't know about
I
all
don't.
that.
I don't feel like I even have.
No, it's actually they're taking people out of the country they feel like is a threat. So that's anybody of color,
That's
anybody
anybody,
who's not white. They're getting
Anybody
rid of you.
speaking against them too.
Right. That's very true. That's very true.
Or if you want to look
anybody
at
that
me,
they don't
where
like.
I have,
Really, it's not
Look,
really even about color. They make it about color so they can keep us divided. We know this, but we allow it to keep going
Damn
on
Skippy.
because you know why? We don't know our fucking history. And until we get to know our history, like our real history,
I'll agree with you there. We don't know our history. A lot of people
we don't know
our
where we came from. Why is my skin so white? I don't even know if I belong on this fucking planet because I burn.
Girl, we're avatars. Let's be real. We're avatars. Bay don't, but look, Bay don't believe in what I say when I say this, but I say we're avatars. We're not from here.
Well, I'm just saying this rate, like we burn. This doesn't make me think that, oh, I should be here because I burn when I get in the sun.
I mean,
I have
you
no
know,
protection from it.
If you look at how the world was split up at one point in time, the Caucan or Caucasian were not around a lot of sun. No, I mean, I'm being honest right now.
Oh, like it's
They
real.
weren't,
Sorry, yeah.
and the area they were at was cloudy. It was not like sunny. It was just it was rainy and kind of dismal. So their skin adapted to that.
Yes.
Just as far as African Americans or blacks, we were in the fucking sun. So our skin adapted to that. So we hold a lot of melanin.
Well, then how do you have white Africans? If that's how it is, like they were in the sun and they adapted, but there's white Africans, or not all Africans are black.
But that's because they were born there.
Well, how come they aren't? Why do they got white
skin? Because their genes, their literal genes adapted, so they can still be what they are, but they adapted.
Yeah, there's white Mexicans too.
Yeah, there's black.
We're talking about evolution over like millions, like thousands, hundreds of thousands of years in certain areas, which is I think what he's getting at with the whole.
Yeah.
Do what?
I'm just saying, like, okay, if you think about it, over hundreds of thousands of years, like you said, white people evolved in areas that didn't necessarily have a lot of sun. Black people evolved in an area that had access to lots of sun, had sun all the time, right? But over the shorter term, like what you're talking about, as far as we having white Africans, those people that are, migrated there over the last several generations, so that's not enough time for it to adapt on that level. It's, I think, the distinction.
Yeah. I told you I'm the wrong person to bring you to a podcast.
No, come on.
Oh no, you're good. You provided some real good clarification, and you made some good.
I mean, I have a lot of opinions on a lot of things, and I don't care if somebody agrees with me, don't agree with me, but it's my opinion. That's all it is. And it's so funny to me how people get mad about other people's opinion. They have the right to have an opinion. It doesn't matter if you like it, don't like it. That's their opinion. Right. So to get mad about it, why? Unless it actually affects you. People have
expectations, and when you have expectations, then you can be disappointed or you can get mad over something. So when you learn to live with no expectation, you tend to
not let shit bother
you. You don't have no expectations. You can't let me down now because I don't expect anything from you other than what you give.
Yeah, I don't expect shit from nobody.
So Angie, you want to talk about the organization you're forming? You're going to be calling
That's Jeff's thing. That's just
Jess, chime in. Jess, are you there? Unmute yourself.
She's coughing.
She's smoking.
She's lighting up here.
You're muted. You're muted, Jess. There you go.
There it goes. Now. Okay.
There you go.
Hold on, just a sec. I gotta put my glove back on. It's cold. It's all of ours. We're gonna be I was talking to AI about that. We're gonna be like switching roles for the executive position. It's gonna be like to where it goes to where it's in a circle. Like every 2 years, it's gonna change to like another board member, and then that way we'll just keep it going to where everybody gets to be.
Start off at the beginning because I think we missed the first couple sentences you said.
Oh, yeah, I should introduce it, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Do you guys want to introduce it, really?
That means up to you guys.
Okay.
Is that cool?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to be fully transparent. So that's going to be one of the things. So, yeah, I guess it's cool. We want to start a religion for the advocates. I
don't know if religion is the right word for it because it's not exactly a religion. It's more of a philosophy. What I would say.
I'd rather be called a cult.
It's a belief system.
Actually, the
They're
correct
starting
way
an
to go about this
organization.
would
I'll
be
let you
You
guys-
call me a
ministerial.
cult first.
It's a
The correct way to say that would be a ministerial.
Why don't you call it a movement of
Hold on.
consciousness?
There we go.
it
I
is
like
a
that.
religion though. It's going to have its own doctrine, and it's all about protecting the children. And it's there's going to be, all the advocates are going to be ministers, licensed ministers, so that they can use their ministry and actually have action, and not just have to sit there and think, oh, well, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. Well, you got an organization behind you, you got a ministry behind you, a church behind you, and we're all gonna, I guess, celebrate together by exposing corruption.
But what is the goal of the organization? What is your main goal? What are you trying to accomplish?
Help the family.
transparency.
Another thing that me and Jess has been working on is like doing like the research aspect. Like, okay, say you got your case going on, right? A lot of us don't know who our judges are involved with, what our the attorneys are involved in, whether if it's involved with our families or whatnot. So one aspect that I brought to the table is a lot of times we don't know where to go with our case, right? But we know some things are kind of fucked up in the sense of it's just
Mhm.
the people that are in the case, not necessarily us, but like the judges, the backgrounds that they've got, the attorneys.
Yeah.
Like some of these people are literally related to each other. So then it's going to bring in conflict of
Yeah.
interest. And then you're going to look at, okay, so what about your public officials, with your politicians and things like that?
Mhm.
That was something that we have been discussing putting into play. A think tank. The think tank is more or less for the corruption. Us going out and seeking the corruption and bringing it to the forefront.
Mhm. And then also the full transparency in the system, and it'll basically add trust to the people, and it'll raise businesses profit and fix the economy. Just the economy would self-heal. And so we're wanting to bring full transparency in the whole system. It's gonna, like the court system, we were researching it the other day, all of us were researching it, it was like
Talk
600
about how much
billion.
fraud or waste is in money in just the court systems alone, and talk about like what you were talking about before about how if we were to eliminate that waste.
Yeah, there's 600 billion to $1 trillion dollars on the table every year globally. Let me pull it up real quick.
So just real quick to say something, to touch on something y'all said,
Yeah.
and this is on my own personal belief. This is not nobody else's belief. This is just my own personal belief. The only way to fix something that is shit is to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to basically
Well,
start all the way over.
Yep.
yeah, it would get rid of
Basically saying
itself.
You have to burn down the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole goal of this. That's what me
Yeah.
and Darren had for the longest time was working towards CPS, is literally abolishing CPS. The whole plan between me and Darren was to work on abolishing the system, and I was going to come in behind him and raise something from the ground up.
But to destroy a system, that means you have to destroy all of it.
I know.
A piece of it.
We know this.
I'm not saying you, babe. I'm just talking to anybody else that's listening to what we're talking about. Is what I'm talking to. So the only way to fix something is to completely get rid of everything that's in line or made behind something you're talking about. So CPS is built off of our government. Our government itself needs
CPS
to be
private business.
In the private corporation, CPS is not government affiliated. People think that CPS is government affiliated because the police come in and run with them to go take the kids, but that's not the case. It's literally a corporation just like the United States is. It's just like a corporation just like Walmart is.
But it wouldn't be able to be active if it wasn't.
But they're not part of the government, just like the Federal Reserve isn't part of the government.
Right.
Yeah,
not on paper. Not on paper, it's not.
But it's still not a part of the government. That's one of them lanes that I was telling you, hey, look, there's some things that you're going to have to go down, like the rabbit hole to actually study.
They make you think they're part of the government. They make you think that's all one thing, but it's not. They don't want you to know that it's not, because nobody can force their services on you. So
Right.
they can't force their services on you if you knew what they really were.
That's like, okay, for instance, I'm gonna use what like somebody told me at one point in time. Like, okay, so you know how you have the court systems, they have a charter that they operate out of, right? They have
Mhm.
DUNS number. Okay. Now, if you look at CPS, CPS has their own charter that they go by. They have their own Duns and Bradstreet number that they go by and everything like that. So you're going to sit here and tell me, okay, you're going to Walmart, but I want you to buy these pair of tennis shoes and I want you to buy this milk and this bread. If not, we're going to jail you because you didn't do what I told you to do. Same thing with CPS. They're telling you, okay, you're going to do this, but the only way that they can actually do that is they scare the people, making them think that they're
Yeah,
actually a part of the government, and they're not.
Yeah, they make you think that they have a right to come to your house and bang on your door and come in your house. No, they don't.
It's all about
They don't have
contract
a
law.
right to come into your home without a warrant. They can't do that. But people don't know it.
Can I ask a question?
Huh?
Oh, here it is too.
So
Oh, go ahead.
if CPS is a different entity, right?
Mhm.
How do government officials also be involved in CPS? Trump, Epstein,
They're not involved in CPS.
but they traffic.
They traffic, but it doesn't mean that they're involved in CPS.
Uh,
That's just like church organizations. Look at the
Now-
Salvation Army. They
Okay, so let's
traffic
say this. They're not part
no,
of
there are some
one of
connections.
Trump's businesses he's got. You know what I mean? He's got 100 companies. CPS is just another one of his companies. I would look at it like that than looking at it like it's the government that he's the president of. I would look at it like it's one of his private businesses he has.
It might be his private business, but because he is the president.
doesn't make them it does not make it a government organization. It's not. It's not.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not arguing anything. I'm just saying like there's a lot of webs linked together.
Yeah, no, they do. They've got them all webbed in there together. That's why it's so hard to untangle everything and figure out what's going on.
Here's the theory.
No, yeah, the people are personally intertwined.
But here's the perspective I think may clarify some things. So you know how they always say the right hand never knows what the left hand is doing. Similar,
right?
In a similar context.
Right.
So you may have somebody that's overseeing or even a head of an organization, but they don't necessarily know what this sub-organization of that organization is involved in or doing because they're over here managing the overall overseeing of it.
Yeah, that's like working in
It's levels of corruption because, like, okay, there's a social worker in Arizona that was taking kids from CPS and giving them to a church cult leader so that he could make teenage brides out of them. And I mean, yeah, some people have those interconnections that's more of on a personal level of corruption, and then there's higher levels of corruption with the more official people.
True.
Like CPS is literally, that's just like the prison systems. The prison system doesn't have anything to do with the government itself. The prison system is literally, that's the sheriff and the governor. The governor is the one that uses all the money to pay for that. It ain't got nothing to do with anything like the government itself.
Yeah, I think she's right. Like CPS is
just because the president backs it doesn't mean it's actually a part of it.
Not that he knows of. They wrote laws. Hold on, okay, this is why I didn't want to talk too much. This is why I didn't want to talk too much. I feel like I'm going to frustrate people.
I'm not frustrated.
So it's like the same thing as a lease agreement. When you sign a lease, you say you agree to whatever they're saying. Now, everybody don't read everything within the lease. Majority of people do not read the entire fucking lease.
Hell no.
Right.
So in the lease, when they be like, "Oh, we can kick you out because your yard wasn't cut," I didn't know. You can't do that. Yeah, you signed it. So the president will sign shit. He signs shit every fucking day, but he don't pay attention to everything he's signing. It makes him a part. It's no different than
they got Biden for that. They got Biden for signing a bunch of shit electronically and not reading it. They did. They sued his ass for that.
But not to mention the president, just because he signed something for CPS, let's look at the budget, okay? Just because he approves of a budget for CPS doesn't mean he's a part of CPS. No, listen, it don't matter if he approved it. It's a contract. It's literally, that's why I told you before you even spoke on anything about CPS, you needed to go down the rabbit hole and look at it and before you go speaking, because you're talking to advocates that have for years and can show you and prove to you that they're not a government entity. They're an entity, yes. They're not a government affiliated entity.
Private
It's
company.
Well,
all under contract.
this is good though, because this will give clarification for viewers who may not necessarily be knowledgeable about the whole CPS thing. This is good. This is how we make people
They're
aware.
a private business and they can't force their services on you. So never agree to anything that they're trying to get you to agree to. And if they don't have a warrant to come into your home and
That's
take,
just like the
don't
police.
give them your goddamn kid.
Well, that's just like the
That's it.
police.
Don't open the door.
Hey, Andy, that's just like the police. Listen,
Even
when
if
you
they're
go to
standing there with
jail,
the police, if you don't open your door, they cannot barge their way in and take your kid.
listen, that's just like when it comes to going to jail. When you go to jail, when you
Come back
get
with
into the
warrant.
car of that police officer, you're willingly going into a contract, per se, saying, okay, I'm willing to do this, not realizing what is really going on. People don't know their rights, they don't know the law. So they're like, okay, well, this person says this, and I have to go by this. No, that's not the case. You can shut that if you want to. If you can go.
My pants.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so I got this
You cannot enter the
pulled
door.
up.
Oh, you cannot answer the door unless they have a warrant. If they don't have a warrant, they don't
Yeah,
have any right
even
to
with the
barge into your
police
place.
standing there, if they don't got a warrant, they cannot come in your home.
Wait, what are you talking about?
CPS, when CPS shows up at your door, when they show up there with the cops telling them we got to take your kid, don't open your door, don't let them in.
No, fuck no.
Don't
You don't
sign
even have to do
anything.
Come
that.
back with a warrant. Make them come back with a warrant. They
Yeah.
have a warrant for that.
Yeah, they'll try to push their way in. They'll try to lie to you
They'll
and say
still
they
say
can come
all
in, but they
kinds of shit
can't.
to you, dude. They're talking out their fucking necks.
Oh yeah, they do
Mhm.
that. It's a tactic, folks, that they use, and you know, and the police do this too when they don't have a warrant. And I've actually not answered the door when they've been
Cocklicking
banging at my
bullshit.
door, and they left. They left because they didn't have a warrant.
Yeah. I've shut
Dude,
the-
my Wi-Fi or my internet's fucking, I don't know, it's not Wi-Fi, it's going out. Are you guys this shit okay?
Yeah.
It's on your end,
Well,
Jess.
Huh.
that's just like, okay, so I don't know if y'all know James Brown, but he was really testing the law when it came to California. Basically, he was doing squatters' rights, right? And I don't know if y'all know anything about squatters' rights. As long as you say you go into
Yeah,
a
I've
house
heard.
that nobody lives there, as long as you're taking care of the property, they can't just throw you out like that.
No.
They have to go through the
Mhm.
whole thing of actually doing an eviction and everything like that. But as long as you're taking care of the property and maintaining, they're not going to throw you out. And that's how a lot of people come across adverse possession. But a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, you have to take care of the property though.
Yeah, you have to take care of the property.
You have to be
keep the
maintaining
bills
the
up.
property.
Yeah. Taking care of the house, maintaining the bills, make
And
sure,
then
your
after
trash ain't
years,
all over the yard type
property will
stuff.
then the property will be yours. If like nobody comes in and does that, like you'll have that property after so long.
Yeah. I think it's 7 years or something like that.
Mhm.
I might be wrong on that, but I know it's a couple of years before they just sit here and just go automatically and say, okay. Because even the police come out there and they tell them, hey, there's nothing we can do about it. As long as he's maintaining the property, paying the bills, there's absolutely nothing we can do. Thank you. What's that? Window. Thank you. I mean, there's absolutely nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That reminds me of a time like about 20 years ago when I was living at apartments, and the manager was trying to evict me, but they couldn't because I kept paying my rent on time. And they took the money, so
And they took the money.
I got it pulled up now, Steven.
go for it.
Okay. It's says US government waste baseline. Like if you include court systems, waste, inefficiency, wrongful incarceration costs, prosecutorial misconduct settlements, public defender overload, and administrative duplication, the potential savings increase substantially for the US if there was full transparency. The Government Accountability Office estimates 233 to 521 billion annually lost to fraud alone, 160 plus billion per year in improper payments. That does not fully include systemic judicial inefficiencies, the court system, and judicial costs. The total annual cost of the U.S. court and correctional system, federal, state, local, is roughly 300 to 350 billion per year. Courts, prosecutors, public defenders, incarceration, probation, etc. Now here's where transparency matters. Wrongful convictions, settlements and incarceration costs, appeals and retrials, civil lawsuits, pretrial detention and inefficiency, housing low-risk defendants at high taxpayer cost. Many individuals detained pretrial are later released or not convicted. Overlapping jurisdiction bureaucracy, federal and state duplication, administrative redundancy, economic drag from unresolved disputes, business capital frozen in litigation, lack of transparency in seizure and distribution, prolonged foster placements, interstate placement mismanagement, administrative billing complexity. The National Center for State Courts has repeatedly noted that data fragmentation and lack of integrated reporting systems create inefficiency across jurisdictions. Estimated potential savings if transparency was radically implemented. If you applied real-time public case tracking dashboards, financial transparency in court billing and contracts, AI audit of sentencing and disparities and repeat reversals, independent misconduct triggers, and pretrial risk automation to reduce unnecessary detention, a conservative estimate might be 10 to 20% efficiency gain in the justice system. That equals $30 to $70 billion annually in court-related savings alone. If you combine federal fraud, improper payments, 300 to 500 billion, healthcare waste, 200 to 300 billion, judicial system inefficiency, 30 to 7 billion, then procurement, defense, and efficiencies, tens of billions more. You begin approaching 600 billion to 1 trillion per year in the US alone. Globally, 3 to 4 trillion per year is a realistic and recoverable inefficiency if transparency were system wide. Full transparency is all it would take. But
And
even
that's
with
according
full,
to. Oh, go ahead.
but even with full transparency, some efficiency is structural. So transparency is only powerful if data is accessible, incentives change, and enforcement is automatic or independent.
And that's according to Chat GPT, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've checked it, but yeah.
And Chat GPT, folks, for those who aren't familiar with AI, it can aggregate multiple sources from the internet way faster than humans can.
Well,
It's not
yeah, I
always
love
perfect,
using
but
AI.
it's a powerful tool.
There's 2 different ways you can use AI too. I learned that from
I
the
will
World
say
Economic
this
Forum.
much. I will say this much about AI. If you use it on your case, make sure you do the research yourself, because I have personally known AI, and it's happened to me, to where it says, okay, well, this is the code that you use for it, but that code says absolutely nothing for what you're trying to use it for. So make sure you do your due diligence, even when it comes to case law, even when it comes
Yeah.
to like the administrative codes and things like that. Make sure you do your due diligence.
Yeah,
If you got to
double
go
check
case
everything.
law, yeah, Google Scholar is a good one to use as far as like when it comes to case law.
And Perplexity, right?
Perplexity is the same thing as AI. You can't necessarily just trust it 100%.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, because AI can lie. I had an experience the other day on Grok with X's Grok, and there was this. It was an obviously fake video, but it was a video that I could tell was fake, but Grok was trying to tell me it was legit. And I asked it several times, and the third time I asked it, it said, "Oh no, it's AI." And I was like, "Well, were you lying to me, Grok?" And it said, "No, I wasn't lying. I just didn't have all the information." And it's like, "Okay, whatever." But obviously, it was lying.
Yeah, it likes to tell you to do things and then you start to do them and then it's like, oh, you're crazy. Why would you do that?
Well, not to mention it also, when you really get to start hitting on something, it won't see erase your fucking answers that it gives you. It'll give you an answer and it will be the correct answer. But then it goes back and says, oh, well, I'm AI. I may fuck up sometime. So make sure you do your due diligence. I mean, it's
Right,
multiple
right.
times. So you really got to be careful when you're using these type of tools. Make sure you do your due diligence. Like, I'm really strong on
Yeah.
that.
That's with any tools. Yeah. Background checkers, all that.
So let's get into what Candace want to talk about what happened to Darren recently.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Darren Gway, he's another advocate. He's created the CPS Punisher app, that helps out parents with their cases. You can put all your case information, and it'll break down like all the violations that may have on your case, right? I haven't got to fully play with it just yet. I just got access to it yesterday. Nonetheless, me and him was on the phone this morning about 4:30. Was on the 45 minutes. But anyways, after we got off the phone, his house was literally blown up. Um, I'm sure it has something to do with the Epstein files. I'm sure it has something to do with all the corruption that all of us advocates are facing. A lot of us deal with retaliation, whether it be a situation where, you've been in a car accident, been ran off the road, or they've come and blown your house up, or they lock you up. Like, they've even tried to lock him up in Georgia almost a year ago. Like, as soon as they picked him up or whatever, they said, "Oh, we got the Punisher. We got the Punisher." Never called him out by his name. So, basically what we're doing is we're getting a GoFundMe together, because not only did he lose his place to stay, his house, it was his mother's house, right? His 80-year-old mother was living there with him. It was him, his wife, his brother-in-law. They lost all their animals except for, I think, 8 cats. And he's like me. We have a bunch of cats. My grandmother has about 30 cats, give or take, probably more than that. But I mean, we have a lot, no exaggeration. But Darren was just like that as well. So we've set up a GoFundMe to help him and his family try to get back up on their feet, to get everything. He don't have no clothes. She don't have no clothes. They lost everything that they've had.
And we put it in the description, folks, of the live, so you can get it there. I'll post it on X once we're done with the live, since the description character limit is so low. But yeah, it's on Facebook, Rumble, Twitter, or X, at Telegram, and YouTube. It's in the description, folks, if you want to go. Why don't I bring it up on the screen share and show everybody real quick so they can see?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Give me 1 second, folks. I got to bring it up first. Go ahead and continue talking.
Da-da-da-da, we're gonna keep talking, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, no, another advocate that we're trying to help out, James Brown. He's another one that's actually helped parents with their children, help with paperwork. He had some issues that he was dealing with, ended up getting locked up, lost everything he had. So we do also have a GoFundMe that's set up on my page, that's set up on Jess's page. Y'all can find there. I've been constantly reposting that. There's just a lot that's going on, like a lot. Pretty much our advocates are the ones that's right now getting hit the hardest.
That's one of the main reasons I want to start it as a religion, as a church, is because we go out there and we minister hard, pretty much every day. All of us, we go out there and we fucking advocate, and that's all the ministers do. They do the same thing. They go out and they try to fucking help people. It's the same thing, only they've got something that's where they could say, "This is what I'm doing to help," and this is. And we don't have anything because we don't have a church.
So this is the
organizations haven't worked in the past.
You want to go ahead and read this real quick for our viewers? Somebody, or should I?
Yeah. Let me put them on my computer. Hold on, I've got it right here.
Okay.
Basically, it says, in a single terrifying moment, everything changed for Darren Gway and his family. Their home was suddenly destroyed in an explosion, leaving nothing behind but rubble. Inside the house at the time was Darren's mother, his wife, and his brother-in-law, by what can only be described as a miracle. They all made it out alive, but they escaped with only the clothes on their backs. They lost their home, they lost their belongings, they lost irreplaceable memories, and heartbreakingly, some of their beloved family cats did not survive. For over 10 years, Darren has dedicated his life to advocating for families and children. As a human rights advocate and whistleblower, he has stood beside parents and children during some of the most painful moments of their lives, fighting to prevent unnecessary family separations and to protect fundamental rights. He has poured his time, energy, and heart into defending others. Now he needs us. This fundraiser will help Darren and his family secure temporary housing, replace basic necessities, cover emergency expenses, and begin the process of rebuilding their lives. When disaster strikes, it is community that carries people forward. If Darren has ever helped someone you know or you believe in standing by those who stand up for others, this is for the moment to show up for him. Even every donation, no matter the size, helps this family take one step closer to stability and healing. If you're unable to donate, please consider sharing this page. Your support, prayers, and words of encouragement mean more than you know. Let's help Darren and his family rebuild not just a house, but a home. Thank you for your compassion and your generosity.
All right. So, folks, if you want to share this or donate, it would be very much going to a good cause. So we would appreciate that. We have it in the description.
Yeah, it's hard to know that all these people that have fought so hard
And
to
that-
try to help
and
other
that's-
people are just
and that's
going
the guy
through all
from-
this crap.
Oh, sorry. That's the guy from Tiffin the Punisher, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right, cool. We're about 5 minutes till the hour. So, you guys want to wrap up and maybe put in some final thoughts? Anybody?
Hey, you want to put a
Dottie?
final thought in?
Yeah, try to figure out before they turn 18 how to get them back in your life, because once they turn 18, they don't come back. So don't think that. They don't so you need to figure out now how to control the court and get your child back in your life, because it's not going to happen when they turn 18.
I wouldn't say that, Angie, because I was every bit of 30 years old searching, and actually, honestly, before that, I was searching for my biological mother, and you're talking about somebody who was ripped by the foster care system away from my family. So that's not necessarily true. You have those that will, you have those that won't. But you definitely want to do everything you can to try to help the situation. Because a lot of times, I'm going to tell you too, even when it comes to being a foster child, a lot of things that these children are going to think is, oh, my parent didn't care for me. My parent didn't love me. And it's all because of what these foster homes, court homes, or courthouses and everything like that are telling these children. They're brainwashing these children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jennifer Borovy's son was told by CPS in Florida that she was dead.
Oh,
She had
wow.
to tell him when he was 18 and she found him that she was still alive.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is
So
crazy.
Yeah.
My final thought, even though I feel like I'm the black sheep of the family, not literally.
I'm right there with you, brother. I'm the black sheep of my family too. So
CPS is dangerous, and I don't think most people realize how dangerous CPS is and how far their reach really is. CPS doesn't just take away children; they take elderly family members, your mothers, your grandmothers, your grandfathers,
Your aunt,
your
Adult
aunts, your
protective
uncles,
services,
all
yep.
those people you care about so much, and you put them in a home. They're not doing them justice. I work for a company that all I do is deal with people who are physically and mentally disabled, and they're not getting the justice they need
Hell no.
or the help they really need.
or the care they need.
Mm-mm. Not only that, they don't even care about the people that's there trying to help your family members that are in these type of programs.
It's all about the money.
It's literally about all the money. It's like Medicaid. They build Medicaid just for them to go to the mall.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck is a mall going to the mall going to do anything for anybody? That doesn't teach them how to live. They don't teach
Mhm.
them how to survive out in the public. What, throw them in a whole public thing and, let them deal with however it is that they're dealing with all their mental, not to mention the people that's come from other houses that
That
have
sounds like they're
dealt
committing
with the
Medicaid
abuse.
fraud. It sounds like they're committing Medicaid fraud by doing that.
There is literally a
Mhm.
person. I personally know who this is. I'm not gonna say their name. I'm not gonna put anything out like that. But when they get their medication at night, they take 35 pills.
God dang.
35.
That
That's
can't
And you
be
know what that
safe.
does to them?
That's
You
big
know what that
pharma.
does
They
to them?
want their money.
It dopes them up to the point where they're passive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Them.
You're not actually helping their problem. You're just
You want them
doping
docile
them
so
up.
you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's consistent with what I've seen in other cases I've covered, like with the Roger Hilligus case, for example. You know, they
Oh, they
drugged
drugged
up
this
his
mom.
mother so bad.
Yeah. Who
Yeah,
framed
so I
Roger
mean, this is
Rabbit?
yeah.
But you know
They
what's
do this a lot,
you know
folks.
what you know what's really crazy? The majority of society is like that. We have been doped up and
Yeah,
pacified to the point where we just follow along with whatever is told to us and we do it.
Yep.
Because we
we all
don't know
need
who
to
the hell
start
we are.
thinking critically. We all need to start thinking critically and stop believing everything we're told, folks.
I mean, they
Verify.
started doing that back in the
Yep.
1800s when they got rid of the Bible. Not saying anything about the Bible itself. They didn't want people to think for themselves. They
Mm-mm.
didn't want you to read anything and think for yourself.
They took all the good parts out of the Bible, didn't they? All
Man,
the
the
ones.
Bible is a
A history book. Let's be
it's a
real.
history book slash guideline. Like this is how you kind of supposed to do things. Not saying everything in the Bible you're supposed to follow, but how you treat people, how you treat the person you care about, how you treat your neighbor, how do you act against violence. All that is a basic thing. But they didn't want nobody to have any kind of knowledge, no self-thought at all. You do what I tell you, and you'll be fine.
And
Our
we need
government
to
is
give
Oh,
doing
there
that.
is.
CPS is doing that. Like they might not be connected in that way, but they're both doing the same thing. They're making the mass of people sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can control sheep, you control everything. If I
And it's
can
the
make
same
you
thing the
sit
media
down and shut
does.
up and do what I tell you, then I rule everything.
Well, I mean, it's very similar to what the media does with the whole controlling of the narrative. You know, the media in recent years. I mean, it's become obvious to me that all they do is lie and spin everything they can. But
Yeah,
you
and
got to,
look what happens.
so people have to start looking and verifying this information for themselves. Don't just believe the mainstream media or anybody, not even me. Look into it. You know, we have the internet. We have
Yeah.
the ability to search. Let's start searching for it. Go ahead, Philip.
No, I was just gonna say, like,
You got to do your due diligence. You can't, just because we're sitting here saying, oh, let's, for example, we're going to bring this up. That's probably be about it. But how we're all saying, okay, CPS is not a government agency. Okay, go look in that DUNS number. Go find what that DUNS number is. Go look up the laws and see where CPS is actually there. Do your own homework.
but people have been
Agreed.
taught for so long not to look at anything. All the way from grade school, you're taught to
Well, that's why we're
shut up and listen to somebody else tell you what to fucking do.
that's why we're sitting here telling everybody to do your own due diligence.
But most people aren't going to do that.
But we're telling them to do their own diligence. Don't.
No,
They're not going to do. People aren't going to listen. People don't.
agree with you.
People are so programmed. Like,
Pacified.
they have people so programmed. But the thing is, one thing is the problem is our DNA holds all memory from the beginning of time. So if you learn how to tap into your DNA, you have all memory. So they can't keep you like that. And that's the problem. They're finding out now that people are tapping into that shit and learning and knowing stuff that they don't want them to know. But it's just because they tapped into their DNA. When you get those thoughts, you know what I mean? Like when you're like, oh, when you get a realization to something, you're like, that's how it is. That's just like tapping into your DNA, because it really does hold all your memories from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And they can upload onto a drive and then do whatever they want with it. because they got us all hooked up into the Internet of Things.
That's why I be telling people if I'm asleep and you don't hear nothing, I'm getting downloads. If y'all wonder where I get the sudden knowledge of something, and I
Right.
say, okay, well you go. I literally it's because I done got a download and it leads me from one way to another.
I know how that is. I've got a few of those myself. Well, there you have it, folks. Everybody,
Oh,
just
I want to leave you with
advocate
something
for
cute. I want to leave you with
Go
something.
for it.
Okay,
Go for it.
so if they never made up English words, right? Where would that voice in your head go?
Interesting. I'm not sure where would it
Telepathic,
go.
man. Telepathic.
Like, explain what you're saying, though. I'm curious. What are you saying?
Never made up English. That voice that you talk to in your head. That and you don't. There's no dialogue. We have no dialogue. Where does that voice go? Is that even part of you?
That's a good point.
Okay.
Shut up, Dick.
Is that your dog?
That's my dog. Dick.
He's out.
Would the voice go away? Is it part of you? Or is it some kind of entity? Who knows? But if English went away, where would that voice go?
Well, the better question
Here's
is,
something.
before
Here's
language,
something.
in spoken
Oh, go
language,
ahead.
how did people's inner voice work? How did that work when you thought about something? Like, that's the real question, I think.
Because it was programmed into it.
Is it even you? Because I know thoughts aren't in our head. They keep on. You know,
Wow.
thoughts keep moving. They don't just stop.
I feel like us as humans, Homo sapiens, however you want to say it, or just a product that was made that was left to figure out what they were supposed to fucking do. Like, I believe in the Anunnaki and all that kind of thing.
Oh, I do too. I think we were seated here.
That's why I said, look, if you remember at the beginning, I said we're avatars.
That's what I'm saying. I don't belong here. I burn.
I don't think we're avatars. I think we are programmed to be something. And we started breaking our program. We started thinking out, like anything that you make, it starts thinking outside of itself.
Okay, but again, that's where that conversation has come between me and you. When I say we're avatars, figuratively and literally, if you think about it, if you want to bring the Bible into this, it says that we have a spirit. We breathe in that spirit. Okay, let's go look at the movie Avatar. What did they do? They got hooked up to a machine and they're thinking through this machine. Okay, well, who's to say that our bodies aren't machines and we're not being, programmed?
Machines.
We are
They're
computers.
biological machines.
See?
They're biological machines.
Okay,
We are
so
computers.
with
We're
that
organic
being
computers, and they're
said,
actually tapping into us right now and using us. All kinds of people. They're tapping into it. Have you ever heard of smart dust?
Have you ever heard of biohacking?
Yeah, dude, they hack
Okay,
into our.
so-
They're hacking into our biosphere, like, and that's part of our body, dude. Like, they're hacking into our outer bodies all the time.
okay, so I was raised in a completely different religion. I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
We are the spirit as far
I
as
got
that
them
goes.
next door to me.
I mean, I'm not still Jehovah's Witness.
I'm just
but-
saying, my neighbors are the Jehovah's Witness.
Okay, but they don't believe that their spirit and their selves are two different things. They believe they are the spirit.
Well,
So-
spirit, energy, whatever. I believe we're that, and we don't die.
What I'm saying, what I'm really getting at is the fact that everybody has their own opinion, but none of us actually know.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. We don't know our history.
Why argue over crumbs? Argue over something that really matters. Like, who is the spirit? Who's not the spirit? Am I avatar? Am I not an avatar? None of that fucking matters. Excuse my language. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's going on. Like, this is what the thing they want us to do. They want us to argue about things that has no relevance to what's actually going on. What's actually going on is CPS is taking people's children. ICE is taking people away from their families.
They took all the
The
homeless.
government has The government has made us to be sheep. The
Depending,
majority of people, except for the people that are, talking right now, people who think like we do, they make you sheep. Follow what I tell you to do. That's all you got to worry about. It's like a slaughterhouse. Walk to your death and don't worry about nothing else.
no, because
Main
we
takeaway,
make the
folks:
money.
think for yourself.
Yeah,
Think for
yeah.
Is that-
You gotta start thinking
Is
for
that
yourself.
yourself that's thinking in there? That voice? Is that even you?
As far as I'm concerned, it is. Until I'm shown otherwise, yes.
Parasites,
It's me.
if you get a parasite up in there and it gets into your gallbladder and then it traps into your
First of all, your gallbladder is not in your head.
parasites think for you and they take over and they're the ones that
No,
create.
I'm saying like you was talking about your gallbladder and you was talking about
So
parasites.
this
You
is the
touch your
meridian
head.
gallbladder right here in
But-
your brain, and so
Right,
they
but
and then they
your
use
gallbladder's
spine.
not up there.
Huh?
No, but babe, what she's
I
saying,
know what she's saying.
there's parasites that get into our bodies. Everything we touch, everything we eat,
No, I
even the
understand.
air that we breathe.
And they can think
There's
for you. They'll
parasites
take
that
over
come
your
through that
thoughts.
come
You
into
don't
our
think they
body.
Yeah, but I
I
don't
get
think
that.
we're all infected by parasites, Angie. That's the point.
Oh, we
I
all
don't
have
think we're all-
parasites. If you have not cleansed, you have parasites. Trust and believe that. We're the only country that doesn't cleanse twice a year.
You can't speak for every person in this country. That you got people who are
That's true.
hypochondriacs who wash themselves, wipe.
No, a cleansing is not the same thing as taking a shower and washing your body. Like there's
If you have animals, you have parasites.
We're
Simple.
talking about.
Simple. If you have a dog, you have a
detoxing
cat,
from
dude,
metals
you
and
got
shit.
parasites. Plain and simple.
I mean,
Yeah, but I don't think those kind
that's
of
something you need to
parasites.
talk to her about because I don't even like our dog sleeping in the bed with us, and she wants her dog to sleep in the bed with her.
I'm like that. I
So-
love my puppies. But they carry parasites, so we all have parasites, dude. There's no way around that.
Yeah, but I don't think we have the kind that can
even
think
if we
for
didn't
us.
sleep with our animals,
Oh yeah, we do.
you still
Yeah.
for everything you touch. There's
At the
parasites.
end of the day, I appreciate the fact that we have a group of people that can come together and have a common mindset on something, but we all have our own opinion on different things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're all
that's
seeing the same.
okay.
We're all seeing right.
Yeah,
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Our vision's correct.
Yeah.
we all have that third eye open.
Right.
None of us are dumb,
correct.
but we all have our own outlook on certain things, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. As people,
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
supposed to do that.
Yep.
We're
That's
supposed
how
to
we have
have
conversations and have debates and
right
come
because
to
of
come consensus on things.
conversations. We are the first creature on the planet that has conversation, but also can objectively look at things and then take this from you. I take that from myself and change it. Animals, when I say animals, I mean like below us, dogs, cats, birds, lions, whatever. They're the only creatures that just stay in a certain lane. We go outside of our own lane and then reconstruct it. But that's
Yep.
also our own downfall because we want to change shit so much. We always want to make ourselves better. Just you can't change something. You gotta leave it what it is.
Everything with just your thoughts. Literally.
Yeah.
Well, how about the fact that they never even came
your
up with
reality
a
might not
word?
be my reality. You know what I mean? Like,
Hello?
and when
Everything
you
in your life changes.
that's a false
within a
reality. That's not
moment.
real.
Yeah. Everything in your life changes within a moment. The person you will be tomorrow from one conversation can change who you could be. You can go to sleep and be one thing, but as soon as you have one conversation, it can change everything you do after that.
I'm a different man myself than I was 10 years ago because of the experiences that I had in those 10
Yeah,
years.
me too. Me too. Me too.
Too.
You're
And I
talking
think-
to a man that has went to prison.
I don't
went to
like
the county
Me too.
jail.
right now. I don't
Me
like it.
too.
All of us have been locked up that's on this right
Jesus
now.
Christ.
Every one of us.
Man, Jesus
I
Christ.
I was only locked up for like 2 weeks, man. I'm a baby.
Well, I did some time.
A year and 2 months. I went to prison for a year and 6 months.
Yeah, I did 18 months myself.
Yeah, no, 2 weeks. I hated it.
I mean, I hated it, but I also was like, oh, this is time for me to just chill. Because I literally, when I was in prison, I was chilling. I'm watching TV on a fucking big ass TV screen, laying in my bunk, smoking cigarettes, eating the food that wasn't food. But you know what
Nope.
I'm saying? Like going outside, playing basketball, working out. Only thing I couldn't get was pussy. Excuse me, babe. So, but I'm just saying, like I couldn't. That's the only thing I couldn't get. Everything else I could get.
Yeah, prison
But
is,
that, you know,
and
jail is meant. Jail is meant to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
some people just get accustomed to it because it is, they get 3 square meals, a place to sleep, and they don't have to think about it. Some people are like that, where they're just like, I'll just get locked up. I know a guy like that. He's like,
But see, the prison system itself was the first project. If most people don't realize, that was the original project. Can I get a person to be docile if I lock them up and don't let them go nowhere? And then once I let them out, okay, I'll let you out, but you got to do what I tell you, or you're going back in here. Like, think about it for real. Like, prison was the first project, and that was done way back in the day. Cowboys and Indians. Before that, lock a person up, you make them docile.
Actually, it's not locking them up if you control the food.
It's more than just the food.
No,
Put somebody in a box and
listen,
don't let them.
if you control the food and you don't give them food, they're gonna do what the fuck they want, what you want, so they can have their food.
Right, but if you put a person in a box and don't let them out until you want them out, they're gonna do whatever they have to, so they don't have to go back to it. And then when they do have to go back to it, they're gonna listen to whatever the fuck you tell them.
and
Kinda
that
like
just
Stockholm
happens to
syndrome.
these
It's
kids
kinda like
that get
Stockholm syndrome
taken,
in a way.
dude. They do what they got to do to
Say what, bro?
I said it's like
that's what
kinda like
happens to
Stockholm
those
syndrome.
kids. In a sense, it's the same difference. They have to do whatever it takes to survive. And your brain goes there.
I was
Right.
gonna say
So
it's
what
kinda
is
like
the box
Stockholm
they have
syndrome.
put people in now? Think about it. What's the box they have put people in now? It's not an actual box. It's social media.
Your
Look
It's
at
a
this.
prison for the
Pay
mind.
attention to this. Don't do anything without looking at this.
Why are all their
Yep.
screens black like a scrying mirror?
And that's why, like me personally, I feel like if I'm going to be an advocate, which I feel like that's really starting to happen with me, I'm about to become a real big advocate. I'm not going to use social media.
You're gonna have to use social media.
I don't have to. That's what society tells you.
No, you're going to have to use social media.
Okay,
though.
you have to use it
To
to a
some
extent.
extent. I think what he's saying is unplug from it from time to time.
How'd they do it back in the day? How'd they advocate for the internet?
Back in the day, they didn't have internet, but
No,
and
well, how'd they
also
advocate
traveled.
for internet?
Yeah.
But you got to
Go
think
ahead, I
about
missed
this.
that lot.
Okay, if you're going to be an advocate, right? Are you just going to sit right here where we live at, Saranac, right? And just advocate right here in Saranac? Nobody else will hear anything that you're trying to do.
If you write letters, if you post notes around, like do something outside of social media. Because social media is going to. No, I didn't say that. Like, don't turn that like towards me like I'm saying something. I'm not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't think that we don't already do this?
I didn't say you don't. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just talking
I
about
think
me.
he's just saying it's good to unplug from social media from time to time. It's
Yeah.
not good to be all the time.
I think we should make a statement like those. What are those girls that wear the red dresses? The maidens. What are they called? Something maidens. But you know them because they got them like big hooded red hoods on.
About the Handmaid's Tale
Huh?
protesters. You're talking about the Handmaid's Tale protesters.
Yeah, like I think we need something like that, like a staple like that, like of some sort that you see and like the red dress, like you know what they are when you see them.
Because we all know that like the internet is controlled so heavily, you can go in and change things. You can go on your phone and have a conversation and change it and put it out there, and it's not the same thing that you actually said or somebody else said. You got AI where you got AI now to the point where you got fucking Trump doing the Dougie. You know what I'm saying? Like, social media is too controlled. You have to think outside of that. You can use it as a platform, yes. But you have to, if you really want to get your message out there, you can't use social media because your social media can be changed by anybody.
You're saying you can't use social media.
That's
No,
true.
I'm saying you can't. I'm saying you can use social media, but not.
You can't use social
I said you
media.
can use social media, but you can't use it
And
just
trust it. Yeah.
purely off of that. You have to step outside of that box and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we do that. All of us advocates do
Basically, you're
that.
saying don't put all your eggs in one basket, meaning the social media basket. I think is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
because like when they infiltrated us, remember, Steven? They infiltrated us. They
Oh
fucking
yeah, they were deleting our
got in.
photos.
They got in my phone account. They got in Angie's account. They got in Jen's account. They were blocking us from each other. All kinds of shit.
Like, if my name ever was to be anything as far as everything we're talking about, we got the Punisher, right?
Hmm.
My name is Deadpool because I'm dead to y'all. As far as like outside of what we're talking about, like y'all dead to me.
Punisher and Deadpool.
Yeah. I'm Deadpool. I'm Deadpool because like I'm gonna speak my fucking mind regardless of who likes it, don't like it. You
That's
can't hush
good.
me up.
That's how it should be. We become far too afraid of offending people with our words, and we need to get back to speaking our minds and having our freedom of speech while still being able to respect and be civil with one another. I think.
Yeah.
How, if you don't mind me asking you, how old are you, bro?
Me, I'm 42.
You're 42. I'm about to be 45. So you understand what I'm about to say right now. We grew up in
Yeah.
a generation where words don't fucking matter. We talk shit to each other all day.
Sticks and stones may
Motherfucker's
break
my
my
favorite
bones,
pet
but words
name.
can never hurt me.
For real.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
words
We
don't
grew
hurt.
up telling your mama jokes to people on the bus. Of course, like that shit didn't phase us.
Yeah,
I love your mama jokes.
Your mama so fat, goddamn her ankles touch.
Hell yeah.
Real.
Well said. Well said. I think we should wrap. We
Like
should wrap
they
it up
have
on that
been.
note. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, we gotta get out of this whole passive aggressive whole everybody gotta love everybody and treat everybody like they're the same. Like, no, you didn't win, but you get an award. Like, fuck no, you didn't win.
Yeah.
To win
Yeah.
means you earned something. To me,
Yep.
you ran up that hill, you ran up that mountain, you did everything you had to. That's why you get a trophy. You don't get a trophy for walking. The fuck?
Right.
It all began when the participation trophies started being carded out.
It goes all the way back to when your parent put an award on the fridge that you did great, and then your little brother didn't do so good or your little sister didn't do so good. And they was like, we're gonna put this up here too because you tried. No, you don't get an award.
Gotta earn
Like,
it.
we gotta stop being so fucking soft and so scared to say the
Agreed.
truth.
Yep.
Agreed.
Call bullshit what it is. Don't
Especially
feed me
when-
goddamn sweet tea and call it. Don't feed me piss and call it sweet tea.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
don't
That's
watch
not what
a
it
child.
is.
Don't watch a child get abused and talk shit to, and somebody fucking talking shit to it or hurting it, and then go, "Oh, that's all
I
right,"
really
because
watched the
it's
video
one of my
yesterday.
friends.
I watched the video yesterday. It was staged, but it showed how many people really care. So there was a dude, and like I said, this all was staged. He grabbed the little kid up and ran, and people would look.
Yeah,
You
not
had-
everybody can do anything.
No, one or two people out of the masses did something, but we became that way because society/government made us that way. They want you to be passive. They want you to be submissive. The biggest pimp on the planet is the government. They the pimp, we the hoes. We get out there and we bust our fucking ass to do whatever the fuck they tell us to do. And we get a little bit.
Amen.
Really,
And then
it's
you-
just business.
Government
when
is
I
supposed to
get
do what we
figured
tell
out.
it to
I
do
said, how much
Thank
money
because
you
we
it's
so
supposed to be
much.
representative of the people. That was what it's supposed to be founded upon. But it's not
Yeah,
that
it's
way
supposed
anymore.
to be.
It's
No, it's
become,
not.
It's
Nah.
become warped.
Yeah.
It's become inverted.
Though, like I said from the very first time when I came on this podcast, the only way to change the system is to burn it the fuck down.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Call me a rebel, call me whatever the fuck you want, but the only way it's gonna be fixed is if we destroy it.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it on that. Me personally, Deadpool out. Fuck everybody else.
Well, it was a good show,
I
you
don't know
guys.
about
Thank you for
y'all, but I
joining
need
us.
a cigarette.
I think we all do. Thanks everybody for joining us. It was a good show, and we'll do this again sometime soon.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, y'all.